Hello and welcome to my November CEO memo. It's relatively on time, being the 2nd of December, although we are pretty busy. All hands to the pump moving from that Black Friday period into Christmas. Things are going gangbusters. A lot of campaigns that need to be done in November for Black Friday and then into Cyber Monday. And then a lot of our clients will continue to roll in pushing toward that Christmas period. And for those that continue on, they may have a Boxing Day sale and then into New Year's. So it's go, go, go. Our shutdown period is from the 19th of December through to the 12th of January. There will be a skeleton staff working during that period of time because we will have clients who need to enable or pause campaigns. There may be urgent things that come up. So you can always email traffic@webwonks.co.nz for any issues that might occur or anything that you need during that time, and there will be someone there to answer that. So that's all good. November was yet another full-on month for us, as I'm sure it was for many businesses out there. It's sort of a interesting period, and I think we can all say that we're looking forward to the end of 2025 and into 2026 because yeah, it's been a battle, no question about that. We end the year in a pretty good place. I'm very fortunate to work with such a wonderful team of individuals, but also we've got such a great client base who have stuck with us throughout the tough times and through modernization processes. And it's been our commitment to you, which has really been the driving force in terms of our wanting to be better and to deliver a better end product that modernizes with the way that the world is moving, and certainly into that generative engine optimization AI space. I spoke at a number of conferences in November regarding AI and how that's moving. And the overriding thing that I think is important to understand is GEO will be very different to SEO, and it can be you can influence the results of AI very quickly. But it's being done through public sites. So Wikipedia, YouTube, Reddit is an area. So if you're not active on Reddit, definitely be looking at starting community conversations in that space and in other areas that are being indexed quickly and publicly open forums, because that is an area where if you've got content in those spaces, you can influence how quickly the AI is picking up that information. So our commitment this year has been very much around communicating that through to you. I believe Sahib has a walk through this month, which talks about the kind of content you want to put up. But of course, our focus is absolutely on Black Friday. So we'll turn to the metrics in a moment. It has been a good year, but it does appear that the numbers have pared back in terms of growth. And I think that's because, obviously we've seen advertisers, there has been a pullback in advertising spend, and then there has been a pullback in terms of the growth that we saw from ad spend into revenue. So though we saw an increase in total revenue for our clients, average revenue per user across all of our clients is lower than it was in 2024. Though, as I'll point out through Raj's review, we do see that average revenue per user for larger clients increased. And I think that that's one of the telling things that appears to be going on in the industry, the online industry at the moment, is that you're seeing the bigger players really starting to dominate and get more value out of their online platforms than some of the newer entrants or people who are not investing quite as much. And that's just scalability and that sort of pervasive view of their brand and being able to touch more users at more time and being able to invest more resourcing into the email marketing that they're putting out there, all the content that they're putting out there, and then also being pre-planned, knowing what they're going to do in September, in October, ready for those November campaigns. So the service sector across both New Zealand and Australia is still, I wouldn't say struggling, but is having a tougher time of it. And we're seeing sort of a very much a push-pull. Sort of 1 month it's good, and the next month it peers back, and then it takes a little bit longer in the month to move forward, and then it jumps forward, and we get some traction. So across certainly the trade-based businesses that we deal with, and I'm talking small businesses through to very large nationwide organizations, what they've been telling us is that from the construction period, September onwards, where the weather gets better, they were expecting, or normally they would see that inquiry would begin from September, but all that's sort of been shunted. Um, in some cases, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks further into the year. So yes, they're still getting that inquiry, but the sign off on that work has taken a lot longer. I was speaking to a um, buying group last week, and they were saying that normally November would be their big ticket month, and though it has been a strong month, it wasn't until that second to third week of November that they started to see that push come through. So again, the metrics I'll show in a moment for the service sector will show some interesting numbers, and I would hope to see that we get not a settling, but yeah, certainly a stability in terms of growth for 2026. Within the New Zealand economy, I think all the levers are certainly in place with lower interest rates. In Australia, inflation's just come out at a higher level, and there was murmurings that maybe the interest rate would go up. That will obviously put the brakes on some businesses. So, yeah, a tale of two countries really starting to emerge. And the consensus for the New Zealand economists is that the growth for New Zealand will be greater than the growth for Australia. So, the opportunities if you're an Australian-based business to invest in New Zealand, and obviously opportunities for New Zealand-based businesses to have that edge. I mean, the dollar for New Zealand is, I think it was 87 cents against the Australian at one point, which is very low historically. So opportunities on both sides of the Tasman, really. Raja has done a full review of screen of larger clients. So I'm going to leave him to go through that. You can watch that video in your own time. But what I will do, I'll start with the overview data. So some strong numbers. Engagement rate has dropped down, but you'd expect that with such a large increase in total users. Session key event data, I'm not too worried about that. 40% growth month on month from November to October, so really strong. If we compare that to last year, there was a lot larger of a growth month on month. The numbers are a lot, in some cases, lower than last year, and that's a mixture of increased revenue and increased clients that we have in our dashboarding. You'll see engagement rate was a lot higher than it is today. And then again, it's just the breadth of clients that were pulled into this. So the thing that, here we go, that I think really illustrates that difference in the smaller and larger clients. If you look at what Raj has got, he's looked at large clients, and in the summary, he has his average revenue per user increased by 14, almost 15% year on year. But when we look at the revenue per user for this year at $1.74 across all of our clients versus $1.98, it's pared back. So for those that might not remember, average revenue per user for us is a really strong indicator of how strong your business is compared to other businesses, and it strips out sort of the total revenue that you might be doing. So the higher average revenue per user, the better, obviously. So what we're seeing here is, yeah, great total revenue driven by a larger number of transactions. Purchase to view rate was higher, as was cart to view rate than last year. And so that shows more engaged users, and also would probably indicate more research being done by individuals wanting to make sure that the product is right for them and that they are, becoming more savvy consumers. If we look at, though, the form submission and phone link click for the service-based industries, sort of flipped. So earlier in the year, we had a higher form submission and we had a lower phone link click. That's jumped around the other way. A lot more people are jumping on the phone and looking to get those inquiries. So a significant increase, and you see the numbers still outweighs in terms of total conversion. But normally we would see them grow or decline in unison. This year, that hasn't been the case. So it doesn't give me a firm recommendation to make to you, except to say that I think there'll be a need for a clear marketing strategy for service-based businesses in 2026. It can't just be, look, I've got my advertising and I'm going to run it. It's going to need to be, where am I getting those leads from? Because what else is would be the case, and it happened this year, is you're going to get a lot of advertisers coming into market in January and February, wanting to take advantage of that push into the new year, which will push up auction rates, push up the cost of advertising. And so you really want to look at where are you getting your leads from, and maximizing the cost per lead that you're getting there. So from a retail perspective, look, I really hope that you made good returns in November and continue to push into December. If you are interested in how some of the larger clients did, um, Raja has a full breakdown that you'll find either on our YouTube channel if you're watching this on YouTube, or in the email. It'll be a bit further down in the walkthrough. So I think that's everything. I had two notes to make, and that was that annotations in Google Analytics changed, and we did see an upswing in unassigned traffic, and there has also been an increase in spam, which is not unusual. Bots are taking over the world. In fact, they say there are more bots talking to other bots than there are humans talking to humans online. So I would imagine that's just going to continue. Anyway, that's me for November. We will be very close, 3 weeks. I'll put on a funny Christmas hat and give my end of year breakdown. So I'll see you sooner rather than later. But let's smash out the last couple of weeks of December and finish the year in style. I find my Zoom, which has gone missing. Oh, here it is. Here we go. Bye.